Well, I've been meaning to get that other camera set up for a while now. Before you know it, it's going to be hunting season in fall. So it's nice to track all the animals that come through this opening here. Obviously there's lots of deer, but there's also a mama bear and 3 cubs back here. We occasionally see some coyotes and wolves. This is the other camera, and this one we're going to turn off so we don't get a bunch of pictures of us working, because that one is at the campsite here. Well, I don't typically leave a mess back here behind, but me and my dad were taking a few trees down the other day, and it was really hot back here. So I did get the stumps carried out, but I got to clean up these logs. This tree was pretty big, and then another pine tree over here. I'm gonna get the logs picked up, and then I can I'll just scoop this brush up with the skid steer and get this job done. That went pretty good. So back here today, let me show you. So we have a 200-foot zip line purchased, and I don't really want it in our main space here. So the idea is there's this little cove right here going into the woods, and we're at the top of the hill. So if I can take this skid steer and cut a trail all the way down that slope. This is at the low part here. Obviously very thick. We got some downed trees and brush, tall grass, but I'm hoping there's a spot. I didn't bring the chainsaw today, but I'm hoping there's a lane that we can get up this hill and kind of have a scenic spot where the kids can zip line down the hill. So it looks like this is my lane here without taking trees down. Obviously a lot of brush. I was going to start up top, but I think it might be best to actually come down here first and work my way up the hill, because at the top I can't really see. I can't see it all where this lane is going to work here. I like that with the grapple you can move down to trees and rip things out of the ground to not have a root base there. So I know a lot of people have said you need to get a brush cutter. Well, my kids call it the dino claw. And I think for good reason, because you can just about move anything. This is gonna be fun. Kind of like zip lining through the forest here. Well, I know kind of where we are now because I did hit the fence. I had forgot about this one. So we'll just clean up where the zip line is going. I never was able to take out the full fence because, yeah, it goes through some pretty thick stuff. This used to hold sheep from going too low towards the creek down there way back years ago. Well, I kind of shot past the campsite, but we're gonna finish where we have elevation, keep this going, and then we'll have to trail over towards the kids' camp. Well, would you look at that? I'm already getting pictures on the camera we set up. What's kind of nice about these cameras is that they send stuff to your phone right away. And there's a common thought that you need to pay a lot of money for this service, which in fact with SpyPoint you actually get 100 pictures sent for free each month for each camera that you have. Well, this pine tree right here landed right at the top of where we want to shoot. So this is what we'll be tying off the cable to. I'm going to get some of these branches cut off, and then we'll get this trail cleaned up a little bit better. Well, I'll take you up here to show you the view. So if we're tied off on this tree, this is the trail that we just made. So actually without any chainsaw work, we have a nice straight path all the way down this big slope. I'm not sure, I think I'll consider building a little platform up here because I like starting a little higher and making use of the elevation. We're gonna finish this little pathway up this way, and that'll end up at the kids' cabin. I can't see where I'm going from that side, so hopefully that red box guides me right here. Look up here on the platform, and then it will feel something like whoosh. So there has been some questions about the cabin that we've designed. It's going to sit up on the top of this hill here. The cabin right now sits at about 24 feet by 16 feet with maybe a little bunk out, a bump out for the bunk beds. And obviously a wood burning stove in there, and insulated so we can use it all year. I think it'd be pretty fun if I can get things framed in yet this fall. That way this winter we can make some runs out here, get the wood stove fired up, and maybe continue with all the progress inside the building. So a few more quick projects to tidy up before that happens is getting this zip line kit installed. The kids have been really excited about that. Well, I wanted to take a minute and address the last video I put up, pushing trees down. We had a really good opportunity because we had a lot of rain. The ground was wet and soft, and we had probably 4 or 5 trees tagged, and it was easy enough for the skid steer to topple those over. However, I should have stressed, safety more with that video. Number one, you don't want to get yourself into too big of a tree where you can get yourself hurt, especially if that's a dead tree, where if you're pushing in branches or the top could come down on you. Luckily in my skid steer, I got a nice enclosed cab with rocks and other protection for a tree and limbs that could come down on you. If you are doing it, to always be pushing with the center of your attachment, whether that's probably your bucket or in my case like a rock bucket with grapples. You want to have the arms of the machine equally stressed. If you do it on a corner and are pushing, you can, especially with a tractor or something, not as tough, you could really damage the machine. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it